Yeah, hi. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be a video about the recent issue about abortion, because abortion is now a big thing to talk about again. I did do a video about abortion in my channel years ago. I think 3 years ago, when it's like a big thing to talk about, because I think that was like a time when they were actually thinking about overturning Roe v. Wade, But now they're doing it again, and apparently, because the reason why this is talked about, because apparently there was like a leak, which that is definitely a problem, by the way. That there's a leak of the source that they're gonna that there's a court date, or there's going to be a debate of they're gonna evaluate Roe v. Wade. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, they're trying to overturn it apparently, or the reality is like what people miss the point is that the intention of Roe v. like to reverse it is that to make the states decide instead of just just like, and people think like, oh, if they overturn Roe v. Wade, all the states, they won't have abortions or whatever, and apparently that's very triggering to a lot of people because how dare we can't have abortions? Go abortions, yeah! Yeah, I love abortions, yeah, abortions, oh yeah, abortions, woo! Abortion's a human right, apparently. But if you guys care so much about human rights, doesn't don't babies matter? Like, isn't that like a human right? To care about. Why don't babies matter? Like, seriously, you guys care about such about human rights. Yet for God's sakes, apparently, that's yeah. I don't know what to fucking tell you. You know what I mean? There, I don't know what to tell you. Fuck me in the pussy. Yeah, and you wonder why you get fucking pregnant and want an abortion, for fuck's sakes. Like you. Okay, so basically, here's why I'm. Listen, I understand this is like a hard topic to talk about. Okay, and again, you're gonna see a little glimpse of the actuals. Like, I'm actually sensitive about this topic, obviously. All right, you're gonna see I mean, it's not like I don't ever say the real shit on here. Of course, I do. I do it exaggerately, but you're about to see real deep thought. Real deep Zubair shit, right? This is the real Zubair talking. All right, bruh. So listen. I understand this is like this is like a hard conversation to talk about. All right, it's hard. It's something that's why people tend to disagree. It's definitely one of the most controversial topics to ever talk about. And I understand that they always whenever you talk about how you don't like the idea of abortion, but then people are gonna go on to say, and is this also the problem with the abortion talk? Or just anything they gotta fucking mention. It's always freaking argument here, argument there, multiple arguments come on top of each other, but it all starts with the abortion. Then they're gonna mention oh, what happened if someone is raped, and or if someone's gonna die. Listen, I understand that's the sad thing, but I'm not trying to say blame the victim, right? But people should know that you gotta make sure you take care of yourself. Be careful in the world. Chances are, if for some reason, if someone sneaked out of the house, right, or why weren't you home? That's what I have to say. Why weren't your ass home if you're going out late at night trying to fuck and then you end up getting raped or whatever and shit like that, But, obviously, that's a problem. I'm not just forcing anything, because I'm not about this whole rape culture shit or whatever. You want to talk about rape culture, that shit's in the Middle East or whatever. That's where it's happening and whatever. We don't condone rape, for God's sakes, right? But, if you want to say, if people say real rape culture or whatever, there's no rape culture. But why people are getting raped is because, for God's sakes, just it's really as few in terms of fucking what happened in the Middle fucking East, okay? But people who like to debate, I understand, if what happens if someone gets raped and whatever, or they're gonna die from giving birth, should we still support it? The thing is, there's people who lived, who there's people who you gotta understand that there's multiple situations that people have had children after being raped, okay, and unfortunately there were certain situations, obviously, that women when they gave birth, they unfortunately passed after childbirth. Giving birth to their child, and those children end up having great lives. You know, which is amazing. It's a good situation that comes out of sad stories. That's why like I'm not full on the idea like we should have like just obviously it's sad, and like I would understand like why people get abortions for that, but like you understand like it is still a human life, even though it's fucking pathetic. And you know what, fuck the rapists, obviously fucking lock them up, find those motherfuckers, lock those motherfuckers, okay, fuck them, okay. But obviously like there could be even though it's a sad situation, there's some good could come from it. Like you're giving birth to a human life, you know? It's something good. It's a human being. And then you're gonna get people like like oh but I wasn't ready. I'm not ready to have I'm not ready to have a baby, even because you have to understand the reason why at most like why people are having abortions is because they don't want to take the responsibility. That's why. That is legit the reason why. They're not ready to take the responsibility, which is pathetic on their part because, if you didn't want to take responsibility, why did you have sex? I hate to be that kind of person, but why did you have sex? You do understand that having sex leads to kids. That's why also, I don't know, keep your cum to yourself. Use a condom for fuck's sakes. But then you got people saying, people should have vasectomies, Men gotta have vasectomies. But, you want women to, that's a problem? Then, then don't say anything about abortion. So basically, you don't want people to take, responsibility of themselves. That's basically the thing. Apparently, because that's the sad part. That's what the problem is nowadays. We live in a world now where, unfortunately, sex has been... where we live in a world where now like sex is like where everyone wants to have sex at any age now or whatever, or they just want to. We live in a world now where sex is like apparently a common thing now to do. It's not like a sacred thing anymore. Everybody's like want to have sex or gonna have sex without fucking valuing it, saying it for marriage, or basically just wanting to have it with the right person. Now people just want to have one night stands and all this shit, and that leads to fucking people getting pregnant. And also, if you want to have sex, obviously, like, obviously, here's the thing. I'm all for, if you want to have sex with somebody, obviously, that's your well-being. You do what the fuck you want to do. You want to say your body, my choice, right? Obviously, it doesn't, as long as it doesn't harm anybody, as long as there's no harm. But if you want to talk about, as long as it doesn't harm anybody, if anything, you are harming a future child, like, that's in your stomach, or that's in that fucking woman's stomach, for fuck's sakes. And people want that to be aborted. But they don't have a heartbeat or whatever. But you have to understand that it's a baby that has a hair color, an eye color. It's already got is a response. It's a gene. Okay, it's a representation. It's a genetic representation of those two people that had sex or whatever. Okay, and as a human life. And apparently, that's a problem. How dare it doesn't even have a heartbeat yet in 6 weeks and blah blah blah. Like, shut up. You just don't want to take responsibility. That's a fucking problem, And I understand, like, we don't, well, it's going to lead to them being poor. Then you got to get a job, bro. You do understand that there's been many people who had kids, had to go through, like, they had to be responsible with their money and also making sure to make risk. Do you not know that's what parents had to do? And then people are going to argue, like, poverty or whatever. And a lot of people got into poverty. That's because they weren't smart. You have to be smart. You do understand in the beginning of time, when people had kids, they had to make responsibility and they had to fucking make sacrifices. That's why a lot of people did when they came to this country. They made sacrifices. That way they fucking made sure the kids had, food to eat and whatever, And guess what? They did that shit legally as well, They made sacrifices. You gotta make sacrifices. That's what you have to know. If that even means, unfortunately, not going to college. I mean, and let me be honest with you. Unless you don't really need to go to college, but the thing is, you have to be responsible. And you have to understand, like, people say that, how can I have a child if I'm poor or whatever. But you have, there are help out there. And people will help you. And people go to criticize, like, if you saw for adoption, why don't you adopt? Listen, I understand, like, there's problems with the adoption services, okay? But I am all about, like, you do understand, like, if it's hard for you to not have a child, you can always give them the adoption. You have to understand, like, It's not like fucking they're gonna fucking starve like with terms of adoption and shit like that, foster care. It's not like the fucking obviously there's a whole bunch of shit, you know. But if you're gonna act like the kid's not gonna be taken care of well, at least like freaking like the adoption agencies are gonna make sure the kids are gonna be well fed and whatever, okay? But obviously they're trying to find them good families. You have to say like there's more good than bad in terms of adoption and fostering. They always like to pick that because there's only like few percentages, you know? Because they always want to fucking complain because that's an excuse to have abortion. That's why. That's legit why, you know? And again, if fucking, you know, abortion is such a human right, like it's fucking hypocrite, I tell you. Because for God's sake, you're literally just fucking, like, you know, you guys care about human rights, yet freaking, you know, aren't babies human, for God's sakes? Seriously. Women's rights are human rights. Okay, of course, no fucking shit. Who the fuck didn't say that fucking women's rights are human rights? Like, if any, like, seriously. I'm pretty sure, like, and yet people always crap on conservatives. I'm pretty sure conservatives always made it clear that women matter, you know? So I don't understand, like, because it's like fucking what liberals use, because apparently this is like, you know, this is a way to make women suffer. You're not letting them have a child. Like, that is some bullshit fucking, like, crap they fucking like to use, you know? And you got liberals have dumb arguments, like, oh, you know, they like to fucking, a vasectomy, you know, men should have a vasectomy. Oh, you don't want a vasectomy? So you should, my body, yeah, it's fucking stupid, you know, like, you understand, like, vasectomies, like, again, that's like, oh, let's force men to have vasectomies, but then, oh, you want to have us forced to have kids. Maybe it's all about having responsibility, you dumb motherfuckers. But again, that's like fucking them don't want to have responsibilities. And obviously, fuck the men too, who, you know, like, if they don't want to take responsibilities. You know, people say, like, oh, but what about if the men don't want to take responsibility, have the kids? Well, fuck them. Obviously, you should blame them too. It's not like we should blame women, you know. I mean, the whole victim blaming, like, people say, like, you know, oh, you know, you just hate women. No, we blame the men too. Those motherfuckers should fucking take responsibility. It should be both. It not should just be one gender, you know. Especially, you know, like, let's say if the woman has the child and doesn't want to do anything, like, you know, just gives it obviously, like, fuck that chick. I understand, like, you know, going through 9 months of labor, you know, 9 months of carrying the baby, but like, they won't take responsibility too. Like, you understand that that's been doing to time. Like, you gotta take both parents gotta take responsibility. It's not just, you know, oh, you know, blaming, let's blame the women, you know, she gotta have the baby, and then the men can get, no. It takes both, okay? You dumb motherfuckers. Like, if people think, like, you know, if you're conservative or whatever, you know, we gotta, like, blame a specific gender and they're apparently suffering, and then, you know, men can go away with, no. If you're a fucking, if you help made a baby, it takes two genders, men and women. They gotta take responsibility. Simple as that. It's not that hard. And if you don't, then fuck you. You're a fucking shit person. Simple as that. I hate this whole, like, you know, like, you know, of, like, you know, men, like, yeah, men just shouldn't have, like, you know, yeah, oh, you gotta, like, men get away with it. Then they should have vasectomies. Again, like, that's an argument with that. And you're gonna have people say, like, there's, like, even, like, liberal arguments, like, oh, ejaculation is murder, you know, like, that's how, oh, you don't like how that sounds? Then that's how y'all sound, you want to say abortion is murder. Well, abortion is murder, you dumb motherfuckers, you know, because you actually had sex with the person. But then, yeah, you bitches act like you don't have ejaculation. Again, this is all, like, liberal bullshit, and obviously the fucking chicks, you know, who are fucking saying this, because they just want to have sex or whatever, you know? That's all it is. Like, it's fucking people don't have responsibility. And obviously, like, the people who are the men, it's like, you know, I'm pro-choice. Like, they just want to have sex. That's the problem, like, nowadays. We live in a world now where people just want to have sex. You know, they don't value sex anymore. It's like, that's a problem, you know? Don't get me wrong, I enjoy fucking chicks on the big black couch, in theory, though, you know? But it's like, you know, enjoying my big black couch, being like, but if I want a fucking chick, I want a fucking chick who I'm actually attracted to, and actually, like, think, you know what? Maybe I want to marry this chick or whatever. Okay, you know, like, that's who I am. You know, I don't want to fucking just fuck anybody. You have to understand that, people. You have to understand, like, listen. Like, obviously, like, this is also coming in from a personal sense, because I love kids, man. I do. I love kids. You know, definitely hopefully in the future to have a kid and have some kids in the future. find a nice wife, settle down, have kids, live happily ever after, right? That kind of shit, right? You know, I'm that kind of guy. I'm not this whole, just want to freaking have kids, sex. No, but as long as the right person, as people I care want to be with, simple. But you have to understand, like, it's very frustrating. It's fucking upsetting, It's a fucking life, You understand when you have a baby, like when a baby's born. Come on, it could change you. It could change you to be a better person. You have to look at the bright side. Like, if people say you rape and whatever, come on, it can change you. A baby can change you. It changes you. They say that babies change you. It definitely does. And I'm telling you, like from my experience, when I had cousins being born and all that stuff, it makes me happy. Wanting to make sure they're okay. What like where did we go from the world where we would make sure the kids are okay to now we want to murder their kids? Like, isn't that the sad part? Like now, like it's like a meme at this point. Like, oh my god, my mom's gonna murder me. Like if freaking if like a like let's say we went from the world like, oh, my mom's gonna kill me if, like, oh, I got a chick pregnant, or a girl like, oh my god, I had sex and I'm pregnant. And then now because abortions are available, like, oh my, and the baby has to worry about, like, in their mind, oh my god, my mom's gonna murder me. Isn't it, you may think it's funny, but it's the fucking truth, unfortunately. Like, imagine if we were aborted. I know there's a lot of people that wish I was aborted. That's like the world we live in now. We like people, because we went from that, like, that could be a reality. That people like, but the thing is, like, people who, and that's the sad part too, like, there's people who were supposed to be aborted, but guess what? They end up being great people and making the world a better place. You have to understand that, like, imagine if babies were aborted, like, those babies were aborted, like, who apparently, suppose, like, many stories that, oh, those were people that were supposed to be aborted or whatever, then it ended up, like, helping, solving world hunger, or helping, like, make sure, like, diseases are less spreading, finding cures for diseases, all this type of shit, You have to understand, like, maybe abortion should not be happening, Maybe, like, the good thing, even though, like, despite some certain circumstances of sex, like, what lets the child being created, it's up to us as humans making sure that those children are raised to be good people, That's how life is. That's the circle of life, right? It's the circle of life, It's how what the world should be. And wanting to murder because you don't want to take responsibility, it's not okay, my man. I really do get emotional with this shit, because it is upsetting. Like, who the fuck would support, like, you really just not take responsibility and don't want to fucking have kids? Like, why? Like, come on. You wanted to have sex. Like, we're talking, because this is the most cases. Legit, the most cases is people don't want to take responsibility because they just want to have sex. And, teen pregnancy. Well, guess what? You guys didn't take responsibility. Y'all decided to have sex when you're also learning about sex education. You have to understand, okay, but again, there's been teen pregnancy before, but they took responsibility. If you think you can't, I don't know what to tell you. You have to learn. And you probably have parents, like, you think, like, oh, your parents are gonna kill you, but, like, I'm pretty sure your parents are gonna fucking help you. You think your parents are, like, sure, there'll be cases, like, oh, like, get out of the house, but I'm pretty sure in most cases they're gonna say that, but they're gonna make sure, like, you know what, that's not gonna happen to my baby, because I'm gonna make sure that, you know what, I want my grandbaby to be okay. Simple as that. That's what's gonna happen, okay? In most cases, from what I've seen, But yeah, it's really upsetting though. Like, we got legit people, like, don't want to take responsibility, and there's people who legit happy, oh yeah, fuck babies, yeah, abortions, like, they're legit. It's fucking sickening, Just saying, oh, it's a human right, but abortions. They're, like, legit happy having abortion, like. You guys are sick, and chances are that these people, like, they actually murder kids, They're probably also baby rapists or whatever. They're actually probably desperate people. They're, like, not good people. You know, and like, don't you notice that like with liberals, they're legit are probably the most evil people out there. Like they're the ones that are evil, like because they actually like support stupid shit. Like they're the ones like yeah, hail Satan, all this shit, yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, I don't support the rules, man. And they're fucking weird people and fucking support stupid shit. They're just detriment to society. And they so happen to support abortions too, and they're a bunch of liberals. What does that tell you about liberals, by the way? You know, like it's not me about like making this political. It's the fucking truth about these people. Like that's how these people are. These people are not normal. They're evil. Like these are the people that want fucking abortions to happen because it's evil. I'm sorry, it's evil. You're not a good person. I'm sorry. You're not. I hate to say it. Come on, man. Like, I've been saying this when I was a young guy. I don't support the idea of abortion. And it's funny. Like, it's also fucking the people supporters who are men. They're a bunch of simps. Bunch of white knights. Because they're trying to get fucked. They're trying to get fucked by these chicks. That's the thing, too. And also, yeah, so fuck you fucking simp for allowing this shit to happen, And they profit on you, and you wonder why you can't get laid by these chicks, And it's funny also, this whole my body, my choice, but where was that energy, about the vaccines? Where was that energy when it was, like, for, the mask and shit like that, they all say about my body, my choice, but then, like, apparently, we have to be forced to wear whatever, and then they, like, how, like, where was this energy, It's hypocrites, a lot of hypocritical shit, I'm not saying there's hypocrites on both sides of the spectrum, both sides of political beliefs, but, like, in the end of the day, fuck abortion, and fuck those people who don't want to take responsibility. I understand, but, like, we have to definitely look, like, all arguments, and I have to understand, like, just obviously, I just think obviously it should be dependent on the people, but like, in the end of the day, man, I don't think any abortion should happen. I totally am against the idea, but the fact that apparently Little was happy about it is also like let's talk about like the whole Planned Parenthood shit. Good thing I remember. Do you guys have not forget that Planned Parenthood is one of the most racist propagandas out there? That like. The reason why, abortion, Planned Parenthood was invented was to murder black babies. Where was that energy? I thought fucking, because, like, left-leaning people, like, who are, they're against the abortion. They're all about Black Lives Matter. I thought, don't they matter? Like, apparently, with this whole racist history. I know, so we want to cancel Uncle Ben. We want to cancel Aunt Jemima. Why not cancel abortions, Because abortion, Planned Parenthood had a racist history. Oh, yeah, no, because it goes against our agenda. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. So, there's, like, hypocrites, I tell you, hypocrites. Alright, that's my video about this situation, about the Roe v. Wade thing, it's, like, definitely people got, like, mixed up about it, but, like, in the end of the day, like, I am against the idea of abortion. I understand why certain people would get it. But the thing is, I am totally against more so of the issue. Okay, I am pro-life, but you're just pro-birth. That's what the argument. Like, if anything, I'm more about life. Like, I'm willing to. Let me give you some money to take care of the child. But I do think obviously you should find a way to take responsibility because you should just like it's like most cases again they're just having sex just to have sex and they won't care about taking responsibility. That's what it is. Alright, let's say people. Till next time. Peace. Yeah, bye.